And we're live.
You're live.
Yes, we are.
Hey, oh, we are live. We've been going live for 5 seconds. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome. We are. So this is a Saturday afternoon on the West Coast at 1:15.
We're a little late.
And we're a little late, but that's all right. I had to get my hair done. It's always important on film, so it looks good. I had a stitch out of place.
I forgot to do my hair.
Guys, don't say anything. Don't retort. Don't retort on that. So today's topic is going to be about
Fatherless children.
Fatherless children. Well, I kind of know about that. That's what I wrote my book on. Fatherless children. I titled it "When Nobody's Home." So just a little refresher. There it is. When nobody's home. All right. 100% of the clients. I say 95% of the clients were fatherless. And speaking about fatherless, when a child is fatherless.
Okay, wait, time out.
Okay, we're doing a timeout. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
We're representing the Dodgers for my friends, the Dodger fans. Oh, Mr. Odin too.
Here. Lord, how does this there? Okay, Dodgers, go Dodgers.
Yeah,
Go
we're so excited.
Dodgers. All right, how do you even say Dodgers?
Dodgers.
Dodgers, there you go. Dodgers. All right. Can we get back to work here?
Not back to
Now
work.
we get back to work. Okay, fatherless children. Okay, huge impact. There is a huge epidemic in our country, and we'll stick with our country about fatherless children and what happens to them, especially boys who are fatherless, because that impacts them a little differently and a little more intensely than the girls.
Okay, but wait. But being fatherless doesn't necessarily always mean that the father is not home. It could be that the father is home but not really present.
Yes,
correct?
yes, correct.
Okay.
He could be abandoning you right in front of you. So in my next book, I'm thinking, I always ask this question: would you rather have the father right in front of you abandoning you, or would you rather have him not even show up and abandon you? Think about that.
And then that way you could just make up your own,
Yeah.
what you really want your father to be like.
Yeah, you give your fantasy dad who's never there, or the guy right in front of you who doesn't even know you're there. And I've had both of those. And when I ask that question, my clients, what's interesting is the fact that they kind of give me this blank look, going, "Wow, I don't know." But if memory serves me, most of them would rather have the fantasy dad.
Right.
Who's not there because of the fact that they can create their own, wishful thinking about why he didn't show up, and it's not as painful.
What a wonderful guy he is.
Yeah, So that being said, huge impact. I'm going to give you a little conversation that I have with some of my clients. It goes like this. I always ask my clients, "Do you have any sisters?" And they go, "Yeah." And I say to them, "Well, is it safe to say that your sisters are doing pretty well?" And they give me a strange look, and they go, "Yeah, how'd you know? How do you know that?" I said, "Because your sisters have the person who they're going to become raising them, where the boys don't have that. So when they look in their area, there's a blank."
Right. So that's when a single mom is raising boys and girls, or raising their own kids.
Right. So that's a single mom. So the women know who they're going to become. All right, does that make sense? And the boys look over and they don't know that, because the boys are not going to be women. They're not going to become women. That's not who they are. Therefore, they get stuck, and this is where they get lost, and this is where they start turning to other ways to get their identity met. All right, and what I noticed about these situations is more girls are going to college, more girls are working, more of the girls are just productive citizens.
More outgoing, too, self-sufficient.
Yeah, they're more self-sufficient. I can tell you about 80% of my clients live at home with their mother, and they're over the age of 30.
Those are the guys.
Those are the guys. And when I pose that question to my clients, I ask them, "Why do you think the women do better? Why is their life more on track? Why is there more? Why do they have a goal? Why are they accomplishing things?" And they don't get it yet. I go, "What do you think? Think about it. Think of why the women are doing better. Look at not only your immediate family, but your surrounding family, your cousins. How are the women doing?" And it's usually it's usually the case when the mother is raising the child, the women do better. So, but they never thought about that. So when I bring that to their attention, they kind of give me this look like, wow, that makes sense, Mr. O. That really makes a lot of sense, because the women always are usually doing, they're doing pretty good, you know? And so I get them to understand, all I'm trying to do is get them to understand why they're stuck and why they haven't moved, why they haven't accomplished anything, set any goals, just moved on in life. Why haven't they caught up with their chronological age? Right? By a certain age, hopefully we'll have certain things accomplished. You know, that doesn't always go that way. But, you know, you can be a tortoise. Some people are late bloomers. I'm a late bloomer. You know, you just keep going along and things will catch up. You know, high school, at least finish high school, but some people don't finish high school. And then if you finish high school, then why don't you go off to college and get a career, or go to a junior college and get a trade?
Right.
And that sort of thing. So those are the things that pop up a lot about my clients and their missing parent, we'll call it. So the fatherless child, huge. You know, when you talk about the drug problem in America is an epidemic, yeah. Look at the boys who are not raised by their parent or are missing a parent, especially the boys. When I speak at colleges, I get that a lot. I get a lot of feedback about my dad wasn't there and I did okay. I get that a lot. I did okay, I'm fine, right? Because we're going to talk about some of the celebrities who are fatherless. And what I see is that, I say you're fine, you know, you've probably done well, you know, you're going to school, you have enough strength, enough inner drive to keep going. But guess what? Even the women, we suffer, or women suffer. They suffer the fact that they're missing that male too.
Correct.
You know? I go like this. I take a piece of paper and I cut it in half, saying, yeah, you're missing this part because you don't know the male perspective. So what does a man look like to you? If your only what is it? Role model is a woman, that's your mother, and you know what that looks like. But what does it being a man to you look like? Who are you going to pick?
So actually, one of my daughters had a huge issue with that. She kept always asking Michael, what is a real man? What are a real men supposed to do? Or what real men do? Not that, well, I did raise him as a single mother, but their dad was around on the weekends and he was a phone call away. He would call every day, but still they never really got that whole picture of what a real man is supposed to do, or, you know, per society, what they're supposed to do. So that was one of the biggest questions she always had for Michael. It's like, you know, what is a real man supposed to do? And it took him like about 3 years to be able to break it down, that there's no such thing as, you know, they have to do this and this and that. It all depends how they were also being raised. And if they were being raised by a dad or a stepdad, sometimes you could get very lucky and the stepdad seems to be, or is, a much better choice than the bio dad. But sometimes that doesn't always happen. Let's talk about that.
Talk about that one. All right. So let's go about, what is a dad supposed to look like? Well, here it is.
Disney version. Give us the Disney version.
Well, the Disney version is you get them on the weekends and send them to Disney and call it a day.
Those are the Disneyland dads.
Disneyland
no, but
dads.
if we're going with Disneyland,
okay.
If it was written by Walt Disney.
So here it is. All it is this: is connecting with your child. That's basically what it is. And if you don't connect with your child, then there's a missing component of emotional safety, bonding. What other needs aren't being met here? Remember, we go back to the need thing. What needs weren't being met.
And also how they see men in the future.
Yeah.
As they get older, when they start their relationship, how they see men.
So when you don't have the man in your life, like I was teaching her daughter, when you don't have the man in your life, you don't know what you don't have a sort of a criteria of what you want in a man.
Right.
So what happens? You pick anybody, and you'll put up with anything. And how many here have a relationship where you pick the man and say, why the hell did I pick this guy?
Right.
And I'm wondering why I keep picking the same kind of guy. Okay? So if I were to I'm going to bottom line it. We pick, there's a wounded girl in us or a wounded boy in us that pick our relationships. So we're talking about girls right now, young girls.
Right.
So because they don't know, all they can do is grab something that comes to them that's subconscious, that they're subconsciously attracted to, and go for it. If they're awake enough to change their mindset along the way and say, wow, this guy isn't meeting a lot of my needs, he doesn't have any plans, what he's want for the future, then we can go, you know something, I don't like this. But if you're used to chaos, if you're used to confusion, if you're used to what is it? If you're used to just not spinning your wheels, we'll call it, then you'll stay because you don't know any better. You know. So the question is, what do you want for yourself? You know, I've had clients where they ask me, how long do I stay? Well, you stay as long as you decide what's enough. It's enough. You know, some of them are in their late 20s or early 30s. They want kids. Well, they've been dating for 6 years. Well, then you got to make a decision. Okay. So we're going to go off track.
Right. So that's about relationships.
It's a relationship.
But it kind of works because this is like the month of domestic violence.
Yeah, but everything starts from somewhere.
Right.
So when we talk about fatherless children, how does fatherless children affect the child, and how does the child go out into the world and take the information from their childhood about not having a father and pick men? Okay, so that goes off there. So then you talked about, what was the other thing you talked about? You were talking about
not knowing what a male figure.
We did that. No, if you don't know, then how can you even guess, or how, you know, what does that look like? You know? And I tell them, well, ask me. I tell them, ask me. This is what a father does. Okay? Because
oh, Daddy, that's him. I know what we're looking for.
All right, so but we talked about, so after that we're going on to something about what? About
mothers, single mothers,
stepkids.
Stepdad.
Stepdad. Oh God.
We're both two peas in a pod. We forget everything.
Here's what I see in stepdads. Because I always ask my client, did you have a good step? I go, well, my stepdad was in my life. I said, well, okay, watch this. How did you treat him? Here we go. We're down this road. Well, and this is most of them. Well, I was kind of mean to him. I said, well, why were you mean to your stepdad?
He could have been a great person.
Was he a good stepdad? Yes. Was he kind to you? Yes. Did he try to treat you fairly? Yes. Then why did you make his life a living hell? So in theater, you have this thing called a dramatic pause. So you just wait. Why would you make his life a living hell? And this is the answer I would get from most of my clients. Because he was there doing what I wish my father was doing. Right. Boom. Get it?
So instead of being glad that they had a male role model there, they were punishing him.
He was punishing him for what his father was not able to do. Correct. So remember I talked about in a needs-based method where we pay for other people's pain? Yeah, you're paying for this boy's pain. Now the girls were accepted because remember the girls have the mother, right? But the boy, I wish my dad was doing what you're doing, so I'm going to make you pay. Right. I get that all the time. All right? Now, that's one side of the fence. Now, check this out. Then we have the other side of the fence. We get the stepfather from hell. All right? We get the stepfather who treats you like doo-doo. Right. Who treats you like you are literally a stepchild, who does not meet any of your needs, who disrespects you. But guess what? The mother allows it. Right. Exactly. And when the mother allows it, the boy or the girl, but the boy is looking at the mother going, well, are you not going to stick up for me? Right. Are you going to fight for me? If I say something, if he's doing something to me, will you believe me? Which is critical. They become very resentful too. Yeah, they get resentful. Now we got a boil. Now we got a boiler going on, right? We got this bubbling internal situation that's going to combust, you know, when the time's ready, and the boys snap. You know, they take off. They hold on to this grudge about why you never stuck up for me. Why was the stepdad or the guy you married or the guy you brought into the house more important than me, right? Especially if he was disrespectful to me, never treated me, you know, with any kindness. So that being said, so that's the other side of the fence. So
that kills her self-worth.
Oh God, I have a lot of those. A lot of those guys where the stepfather would just dog them, right? And so my goal was to put the pieces together, make sense of all that, but also really to make sense of the mother and why she would do that. Why does a mother sacrifice her own child for the boyfriend or the stepdad? That's huge. I serve them on a platter, and I have to take all that information and make it make sense to the person, to the male in particular, and get them to understand what pain the mother is in order to sacrifice her own child.
Right, because I'm sure. Well, I'm not really sure, but it is the fact that as a single woman, you're raising kids, and you sometimes believe that just having a man there, it's better than having no man there. And then she's not strong enough as well. Because, you know, we talk about generations, so taking this from generation to generation. If she was raised by a single mom, she already knows how difficult it is. So the last thing she wants to do is raise her kids as a single mom. So then she picks anybody off the street, seriously, and brings him in the house just to be able to have a male figure there. Not that it's going to be somebody that's going to be a good role model for their kids, but at least they have somebody there.
So then we talk about financial.
Well, sometimes it doesn't always work because they don't. But
if you can't, if you want a roof over your head, if you want the basics in life are this: I gotta have a roof over my head and food on the table. That's it. All this other lovey-dovey foo-foo stuff and all the extras that come with that, you know.
Very romantic man, right here.
Just give me a fork
and a plate of food.
That's it. Boom.
Okay. So I want to talk. He's always so serious. I want to talk about celebrities. Now, because we're always looking when we hear about celebrities or other people, it's very hard for us not to think about, you know, their childhood and how they were brought up, because we do this every day. So I saw something on TV about Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando.
My mom used to love him. And he didn't have his dad, right?
No.
Yeah. No, his dad was there at the beginning, but very abusive.
And then his mother alcohol.
And then he left. The mother was an alcoholic. Now he was a hot mess. I know he's a little old, and so
when he died last year.
Yeah, but maybe some people don't know about him.
Oh no. Okay, Marlon Brando was considered the greatest actor of all time. Okay, and he was the one who used the method of acting, where you could actually get into the role using real authentic emotions.
Because he didn't want to read his lines or something.
Well, let's get into where he had cue cards behind the camera to read his lines, so the lines could be fresh.
Okay, that's what it was.
But he was really one of the greatest, so anyway, he's a tortured soul. He is. Yeah. He's a tortured soul. Because his dad was abusive and neglectful and pretty much gone. His mother not too far behind.
Right.
But so he had a lot of women. He had one of the greatest swordsmen in Hollywood history, you know. But he felt really comfortable with women. That's why he always hung
that's what it was.
Yeah, he hung with women. Because when you are abandoned by your male role model, and the only person who keeps showing up in your life as a woman, then subconsciously you're going to be attracted or believe you're safer with the person who stuck with you during childhood, and that's, in this case, women. His mother. So that's why he had, you know, 8, 10 kids.
Right. They were all hot messes, and that's from generation to generation.
Yeah.
His kids.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't know how to be a dad to them either.
Yeah, he didn't know how. He neglected them in front of him. Didn't know how to connect because no one connected with him. So again, you know, when people say something is hereditary, you know, it's not hereditary, but it is. What do you call that? Generational. It's generational. And the only way you can stop a generational pain in the family is to see where you are in life, wake up and do something. Yeah, become aware and do something different. Okay, so you can think different, be different, and act different.
Think to be different.
Yeah, so you can think to be different.
Okay, so let's talk about my girl Halle Berry. Hot mess.
I hope she ain't watching this. Oh Lord, what are we doing here? Anyway, Halle comes from that world. Her father is a brown man black man from Ohio. Yeah, mother, I believe Jewish. I'm not sure, or Caucasian nonetheless. But it wasn't there. So when I hear how people behave or how they act out, we can only speculate.
Right.
I don't know.
We don't know her. We haven't had lunch or dinner.
Yeah. She turned me down many times.
She had her turn. Yeah.
No, Halle, not today. I'm busy. Got a hair appointment. So she comes with that missing component. There is. You're just missing that component. There may be some stuff she's holding on to. No right or wrong. She may have used acting to, really, a lot of people. I went to acting. I did it for 10 years, and you get to, shall we say, have a little therapeutic sessions by really getting really to understand you, where your pain is, how you can use your pain in acting. So I see a lot of things from not only celebrities, but it doesn't matter. I just hear how people behave, and my mind is already clicking about how they see themselves and how they relate to others.
Well, and the fact, all those men, let's talk about the men that she keeps picking.
Oh, we're going way back to the Yankees.
Well, no, because my thing is this.
What?
I mean, almost, sure that one of the biggest reasons why she has such a hard time in relationships is because she doesn't know what a real relationship's supposed to be like.
Maybe
or supposed to look like.
Oh, yeah.
Because she didn't have her dad there.
Or, okay, and when do you start working on that and not making the guy pay? But also, when do you work on that where you're at peace with who you are, right? You got to be at peace.
But in order to do that, then you have to look at yourself and say, well, maybe I'm the problem. It can't be all these men that I'm with.
Well, watch this. Okay, so here we go. Then we go back to the beginning. Remember, we don't fall in love. We fall in what?
Need.
Right? So your wounded girl and your wounded boy find each other subconsciously through all the stuff in the universe, and you connect. There's an emotional vibration that's going on. What happens is, wow, this guy's got that thing. I can't put a finger on it, but there's an attraction. Or this woman's got that thing, and there's an attraction. Ah, there we go. And so during the honeymoon phase of this relationship, everything is, snowbills, waterfalls, and unicorns and pixie dust. Until the dust settles, and then guess what? Ah, there you are. So that's you, huh? That thing you used to do that I was attracted to.
Cute. Remember at the beginning, everything's super cute.
Now you're getting on my nerves.
Then it's not so much.
So what's going to happen is your childhood, the high probability your childhood survival mechanisms will show up and kick in without you realizing it. But again, you have to be awake, okay, to see that. We all have them. I have mine. And so
whatever. You guys know I'm perfect.
So but if you handle that, guess what? You got a shot at changing, what people say or don't say to you, and you don't react. You just you can look at it differently, and you can look at it realistically, but not personalize it. Okay. Because I do what I do, I see people's little girl or boy show up in situations that got them through childhood, but they don't need it now. They don't need it. Okay? They don't need it at all. So, that being said, fatherless children, huge epidemic. Does it impact us? Yeah, absolutely. Does it impact the boys more? Probably, yes. Girls as well. Who do they pick and how do they see each other and how do they pick the guy that's beneficial for them? Do they sacrifice themselves for the man? So, it's just something, all we can do is look and see how that affected us, heal it, and not let it drive the behavior, and not let it influence what you do and who you pick later on in life.
Right. And definitely don't make your kids pay for it.
Yeah, but especially if you have kids. If you got kids, try, be there for them. But be careful. Don't overcompensate what you did because you didn't get it. Don't overcompensate because I see a lot of people doing that. Gotta be like, whoa, they're hovering and let them fall on their knees. Here's what I say to my kid: fail and have a great time. Fail and have a great time, and then tell me what you learned. Because guess what? Without failure, you can't have success. And be okay with failure and be okay with success. So those are some of the nuggets that I will
So that should be for the second, another, what do you call it, Facebook Live that we'll do.
What's that?
Parenting,
yes.
The different styles of parenting here.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
Would have not been a pretty picture.
Remember, I'm from America. She found her papers. You got your papers, right? Because I will have you out of here. I will call the green truck.
Exactly. Okay, guys, so let's wrap it up. Mr. Odin gets so serious. Have you guys noticed? Look at this. He went to the gym this morning.
It's a wrinkle. This is a wrinkle.
Oh, I thought it was a muscle.
No,
dang it.
I ordered that last week. It's coming in. I got a special, 2 for 1.
Right. So enjoy your Saturday. Mm-hmm. That was a little bit of wisdom from us. Go Dodgers. I'm super excited because majority of the team is Cuban. So
Go Houston.
Go Houston.
Yeah. They had a hurricane. Can we have a little joy over there?
Okay.
We had a hurricane.
What about Puerto Rico?
They're not in the league.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what we're doing. We're doing, okay, leagues. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Puerto Rico's not in the, plus their baseball team, they don't have any, God, never mind. They're going through a rough time. So.
Exactly. So, enjoy. And here's, cheers with passion fruit juice.
Passion fruit juice. Yeah, they don't say J in Cuba. They'll call it use. Use for what? Oh, it's use. Use for what? Never mind. We're signing off.
Okay, so have a wonderful Saturday, everybody. Enjoy your family.
I'm outie.
Bye.